crossing the limits of the speed of light. Reaching and exceeding the speed of light is a necessary and totally feasible goal for future trips in outer space. However, it is first necessary to understand the nature of the speed of light. Currently, in the laboratories of the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland, an elementary particle is accelerated to almost the speed of light, making more than 11,000 revolutions of the 27 km diameter ring in a few seconds. In other words, using electromagnetic acceleration techniques, the particle needs to travel more than 900,000 kilometers before it can approach the speed of light. Here it is worth asking, why in this large laboratory? Is it not possible to exceed the speed of light? Even if we make the particle turn the ring more or build much larger rings, such as the 100 kilometers in diameter, which is currently planned to be built. But in reality, it is not a matter of increasing the size of the ring or increasing the acceleration energy of the particles to exceed the speed of light. Because if it were possible to exceed the speed of light using this type of accelerator, the ring of 27 kilometers would be more than enough. This is where the fundamental concept of the limit and the characteristics of the nature of the speed of light come in. We live in a reality created by the interaction of energy with matter. That is, we live in a quantum reality, the result of the interaction of photons with matter and vice versa. The matter of which we are constituted could not be visible to our eyes and our senses if there were no quantum interaction. For this reason, from the observer's frame of reference, our reality could not exist at higher speeds of light. This is the reason why in the Large Hadron Collider it is not possible to exceed the speed of light, because it is trying to accelerate particles from the observer's frame of reference. Precisely, correctly interpreting the general theory of relativity is not a simple task, and for this it is necessary to abstract a bit, to be able to adequately interpret the behavior of spacetime when the movement approaches the speed of light. Engineer Ronald de Herrera Barrero tells us, "I remember a question that a student asked me. He asked me, what is time and why does it exist? Because definitely, nothing would exist if there were no movement, and for there to be movement, time is necessary." To understand why it is not possible to exceed the speed of light from the observer's point of view, consider the following image and imagine a ship moving at the speed of light in outer space. From the ship's frame of reference, it is outer space that is moving at the speed of light. From the front of the ship, we would see almost normal space except for the contours, similar to this image. From the left side, we would see the space as a combination of the color blue to red, due to the Lorentz contraction, similar to the Doppler effect. From the back of the ship, we would see absolutely nothing. Now, suppose a ship's crewman turns on a laser pointer. Since the reference frame is located on the ship, then the crew member would see that the laser is normally reflected off the walls within the ship. Now, since we have seen that the laser light works normally inside the ship, suppose that this same crew member starts to run inside the ship at the speed of light, in the same direction that the ship is moving. Then, from the crew member's frame of reference, outer space would be moving at a speed 2 times the speed of light, which proves that there are speeds greater than the speed of light. Now, from the frame of reference of an outside observer located at the rear of the ship, we would see that the ship disappears in a flash of light, precisely because for that observer the matter of the ship would have expanded into infinite energy components converted into photons. That is, the matter of the ship would seem to disintegrate at the moment of reaching the speed of light, in which our senses no longer have the ability to perceive matter. Now, from the frame of reference of an outside observer at the front of the ship, you will perceive the ship as a point of light, static, motionless and massless. This will happen whenever the ship moves at a speed within the range of visible light, in which we can verify the phenomenon of quantum duality, due to the distortion of spacetime. In this sense, it is clear that it is possible to reach and exceed the speed of light, as long as the reference frame is in the spacecraft. Otherwise, if the frame of reference is located external to the spacecraft, then infinite energy would be required for the spacecraft or particle to reach or exceed the speed of light, as it would be for an outside observer at the back of a ship moving at the speed of light. This is why in the Large Hadron Collider, it is not possible to exceed the speed of light, because they are trying to accelerate the particles from the frame of reference of an external observer. At present, with current technology, it is not possible to build ships with the capacity to reach and exceed the speed of light, because there are many limitations. On the one hand, due to the characteristics of the engines, the emission of gases and polluting particles from space, as a consequence of the thrust of this type of engine. But the biggest limitation of current technology is fuel, which has very little durability and requires large quantities and large storage spaces. Engineer Ronald de Herrera Barrero says, "A new aerospace technology is necessary, with new features that are much more viable and more practical, even cheaper. I have the knowledge to develop the new technology that will bring great advances for humanity. See my proposal in the video. New aerospace technology, the future is now. With the new technology that I propose, it will be possible to reach and exceed the speed of light in outer space. It will also make it possible to escape from gravitational pull without the need for large thrust forces. Fully reusable ground-to-space vehicles. There will be no need for parachutes or thermal shields, among other great advantages, and above all, it will be a zero-polluting technology." In this regard, I invite companies with the capacity to invest in the development of this new technology to contact me at the indicated addresses. Please join this channel on Patreon, so that we can continue to create scientific content, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so that you stay up to date with new posts. Thank you very much for watching and sharing this video.